All right, NASCAR fans, buckle up because what's about to go down this Sunday at Martinsville Speedway might be the most storyline-packed single race of the entire 2026 season so far. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that, because we're not dealing with just one big headline heading into this weekend. We're dealing with 5 completely different situations all crashing into each other at the same race. We've got a future Hall of Famer about to hit a number that nobody in the NASCAR world ever imagined seeing next to his name. We've got a driver who still can't get back in his car because of a health crisis that won't go away. We've got a baby that could arrive at literally any second and pull one of the top 3 drivers in the standings out of his car. We've got a suspended driver still waiting to find out when he can come back. And we've got a short track that has a decades-long history of creating absolute chaos. This is Martinsville, the paperclip, the place where tempers run hot, fenders get bent, and grandfather clocks get handed out. And this Sunday, every single one of these storylines is going to be tested under the pressure of 500 laps at one of the most demanding tracks in all of motorsports. So before we break down every single one of these stories, if you're a real NASCAR fan who lives for weekends like this, smash that like button and subscribe to Daily NASCAR. Brand new channel pushing toward 1,000 subscribers. If you love honest, passionate NASCAR talk every single week, you're exactly where you need to be. All right, let's start with the biggest headline because this one is honestly hard to even believe. Kyle Busch, the 2-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, the most victorious driver across all 3 national series in the history of this sport, a guaranteed future Hall of Famer, is heading into Martinsville on a 99-race winless streak. 99. And if he doesn't find victory lane on Sunday, that number becomes 100. Triple digits. Nearly 3 full calendar years without a single Cup Series victory. If you told any NASCAR fan 3 years ago that Kyle Busch would go 100 races without winning, they would have laughed in your face. But here we are. And the situation at Richard Childress Racing isn't making things any easier. RCR is off to their worst statistical start since 1982. Neither Kyle Busch nor Austin Dillon has managed a single top 10 finish through 6 races. Both drivers are currently carrying career worst average finishes. Busch is sitting 23rd in the standings. Dillon is 26th. And to make things even more concerning, Austin Dillon has actually been outpacing Kyle Busch on raw speed at recent tracks like Phoenix, Las Vegas, and Darlington. That's not supposed to happen. A future Hall of Famer should not be getting outrun by his teammate. Whether it's the new rookie crew chief Jim Pulliam still finding his footing or something deeper going on with the organization, something is clearly not working. And now, Kyle Busch rolls into Martinsville knowing that the entire NASCAR world is watching to see if he hits that devastating 100-race milestone. The pressure on him this Sunday is immense. Now, the second massive story heading into this weekend. Alex Bowman is still out. And honestly, this situation is getting scarier by the week. The vertigo that first showed up during the race at COTA has now kept Bowman out of the car for multiple weeks. He's already missed races at Phoenix and Las Vegas with different replacement drivers filling in each time. And now it's confirmed that he won't be in the car at Martinsville either. And that means he's also set to miss Darlington and Bristol after this. We're looking at a minimum of 6 weeks on the sideline. He's currently sitting 36th in the Cup standings, 94 points below the playoff cut line. Let's be real here. His chances of making the chase at this point are basically non-existent, but that's not even the priority anymore. This is about his health. This is about making sure he can safely operate a race car at nearly 200 miles per hour. And right now, Hendrick Motorsports has made it abundantly clear they're not rushing him back under any circumstances. The earliest possible return might be Kansas on April 19th, but even that isn't guaranteed. Nobody knows when Alex Bowman is coming back. And the longer this drags on, the more serious the questions become about what this means for his career long term. Meanwhile, Hendrick Motorsports is scrambling every single week to find replacement drivers and keep that 48-car competitive. It's a situation that's affecting the entire organization. Third storyline, and this one adds a completely different kind of drama to the weekend. Bubba Wallace is still on baby watch. His wife Amanda is expecting their second child, and that baby could arrive at literally any moment. The due date window is active right now. It could happen today. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen during the race on Sunday. And Bubba has already made it crystal clear that he will not miss this birth. When their first son was born, Bubba wasn't there because of racing commitments. He said publicly that he regrets that and he's not making the same mistake twice. Now, normally a driver missing a race for family reasons would be a simple story, but Bubba Wallace isn't just any driver right now. He's currently sitting third in the NASCAR Cup Series standings. Third, having the best season of his entire career. Missing a race when you're that high in the points could have serious championship implications. His spotter, Freddie Kraft, revealed on the Door Bumper Clear podcast that the 23 XI racing team has 3 separate backup plans depending on when the baby arrives. Plan A is Corey Heim if they know in advance. Plan B is an emergency replacement if it happens last minute. And there's even a Plan C. Every single person in the NASCAR garage is essentially on baby alert this weekend. Will Bubba make it to the green flag? Will the baby come during the race? Nobody knows. And that uncertainty adds an incredible layer of tension to everything happening at Martinsville. Fourth story, Daniel Dye remains indefinitely suspended from NASCAR competition. The Young Truck Series driver was banned after making inappropriate comments during a live stream. NASCAR enforced their rulebook, specifically Section 4, 3C, and issued an indefinite suspension. His own team, Calig Racing, immediately backed up NASCAR decision and suspended him as well. As of right now, Dye has not completed the required sensitivity training, which means there is still no timeline for his return. No date, no target, nothing. Meanwhile, AJ Allmendinger is filling his seat in the Truck Series. Every week that passes, Dye falls further behind in the truck standings. He was 13th before the suspension, already 88 points behind leader Chandler Smith. His career was just starting to build momentum, and now everything is frozen. Whether you think the punishment was too harsh or completely justified, the reality is that Daniel Dye's season and possibly his entire career trajectory has been dramatically altered by one moment on a live stream. And heading into Martinsville, that situation remains completely unresolved. And the fifth storyline tying everything together. This is all happening at Martinsville Speedway. And if you know anything about this track, you know why that matters. Martinsville is the shortest track on the entire Cup Series schedule. It's a tight half-mile paperclip-shaped oval where cars are bumper to bumper for 500 laps. There is nowhere to hide at Martinsville. Tempers always run hot here, fenders always get bent, and the racing is always intense from start to finish. Add in the fact that Daniel Suarez and Ross Chastain just had a physical confrontation in the garage at Las Vegas 2 weeks ago, and you've got even more potential for fireworks. Those two former Trackhouse teammates clearly have unresolved tension, and putting them on a short track where contact is inevitable, that's a recipe for something explosive. Martinsville has a way of bringing out the best and the worst in drivers. And with this many storylines converging at one race, Sunday could produce one of the most memorable events of the entire 2026 season. And honestly, that's what makes this sport so incredible. In what other sport do you get all of this happening at the same time? A legendary driver fighting to avoid a historic winless milestone, a health crisis that won't go away, a baby that could arrive mid-race, a suspension with no end in sight, a rivalry about to be tested on a short track, and 500 laps at one of the most iconic venues in all of motorsports. That's NASCAR. That's why we love it. And that's why this Sunday at Martinsville is must-watch television. So now I want to hear from you. Which storyline are you watching most closely this weekend? Do you think Kyle Busch avoids hitting 100 races without a win? Will Bubba Wallace make it to the green flag? And do you think Suarez and Chastain keep it clean at the paperclip? Drop your predictions in the comments because I know NASCAR fans have strong opinions heading into weekends like this. And if you enjoyed this kind of real passionate NASCAR preview, smash that like button and subscribe to Daily NASCAR. This channel is brand new and we're racing toward our first 1,000 subscribers. If you're a genuine NASCAR fan who wants honest talk about the sport every single week, you've found your home. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you right after the race drops the checkered flag. This Sunday is going to be wild.